Hey everybody, Mark V. Dub, Gardening Gone Wild. Here we are cleaning out the garden. And what I wanted to show you was the first couple of wheelbarrows that I've got so far with all the debris from the tomato patch. If you see all that down in there, I've got some right here in the wheelbarrow as well, but also right here in the dump trailer. What's nice is a friend of mine let me borrow his trailer that dumps. And it's really nice. Take it to the waste station and just be able to lift it up, and it just slides all out, and then I'm off to the races. The cool thing about it is I don't really have to touch it except for putting it in the trailer. That's probably the hardest part because I'm tearing it out of the garden as such, and so it makes it kind of a mess. And it's a little wear and tear on your body, right? So what I want to do is I'm going to take you out here, and I'm going to show you just a little rundown of the yard. Remember, we talked a little bit about the garden and everything, and what I've got, and then some of the things that I'm actually doing. But what we've done so far is we have actually taken and ripped all the tomatoes out. As you can see, I kept some tomatoes, even though some of them might have been frozen over the course of the last week because our temperatures have definitely been down below freezing. But you can kind of see how sad it is here in the garden, the cukes, the melons, even the grapes over there. Now, if you look at this big old gigantuous tree right here, a lot of people love those because of the shade, but a lot of people despise them because of the leaves are so small. They drop those little tiny round, I call them dime seeds everywhere, and so I'm constantly picking them out of my garden. Growing little Chinese elm, or they're actually called the Siberian elm. So nonetheless, we're out here cleaning up, and let's go grab the wheelbarrow and I'll show you what I'm doing as far as taking that thing and dumping it up into the trailer. Okay, it's kind of nice because I've got the trailer slanted in the dump position just enough that the wheelbarrow will, the lip of it will set right on top of the back of the trailer right here. You can see just right there, see how it's just a little bit above it. So what I'm able to do is actually take it and dump it into the trailer. All right, you see how that is right there? I'm gonna get my gloves on, get a few pokies in these tomato plants and a few other plants that have grown into the tomatoes. So just basically just dump that up there like that, and then I can push it on the trailer and get it back as far into the trailer as I can so that I can continue to dump the garden waste out of the garden. Right on. Now, why don't you come with me? Let's go out to the garden. We'll see if we can't take this wheelbarrow. You know, thank goodness this wheelbarrow's got two wheels on the bottom. I wouldn't be able to balance it like that if it didn't have two wheels, because I've got the camera in one hand and I've got the wheelbarrow getting ready to go down here. We're going to stop right here at the cucumber bed and kind of give you a first-hand look of how we work in the garden here. Don't want to overexert ourselves, but nonetheless, unfortunately I wasn't able to get to all the cucumbers in time to harvest them, and had a bunch of them go to waste. That ever happened to you? I think it happens to everybody, really, if you ask me. Unfortunately, we tend to let our gardens go to waste somewhat, so it makes it a little more on us as gardeners to be a better stewards of our garden instead of just letting them go to waste. So, pull things off of here, get all this cleaned out so that we can get the garden prepped. So I'm going to have a video and I'm going to show you what I do to get the soil regenerate. How's that for a word? Rejuvenated, so that we can get it all ready. So when spring next year comes and we're ready to plant, boom, the grow boxes will be ready. The soil will be ready for our plants to be put in there, and we won't have to do too much prep work in the spring to get the garden ready to plant our plants. Now, I mean by volunteer Siberian elm trees. After I get all these vines pulled up and put in the wheelbarrow, you can probably already see that guy right there. That's a volunteer. Try to pull that sucker up and see if you can get it out of there without leaving all the roots down there for it to continue to grow. And then you notice I've got another one right here. I've got another one here. I've got another bigger one here. And that one there. And then my cantaloupe. Shoot, I got about 15 cantaloupe this year, and this is all a volunteer. As you can see in my bed, I've got this white bucket right here, and that's where I put my red wiggler worms to help me with my worm composting and to be able to help my plants out in their growth, to give them all the nutrients they can possibly get. Because after all, worms do provide some of the best fertilizer for your garden. Cantaloupe, anybody? Hey, not bad looking, is it? Nice and ripe. Okay, throw that baby in there. Come spring, we don't have too much to have to worry about. Now, there we go. That wasn't too bad, pulling out all the vines, right? Now, if you notice, I've got some grow boxes. If you look at my grow boxes here, you'll notice that I've got 2 scores, as they call it in the mason industry, 2 scores or 2 levels of blocks, and that's what I'm using for my grow boxes. I've found that 1, you don't use railroad ties with creosote. 2, you don't use treated lumber with all the chemicals that they treat the lumber with. And 3, these babies last a long time. Exactly right. Now, this one's gonna be a little bit more interesting. We got a good crop of green beans off of here. On the other side of the green beans are the beets. And I definitely am a beet lover, as is my wife. But not too many people in the family like beets. I have an old principal that I used to work with at school. He would drink the juice. I love the juice too, it's awfully good. So, all right everybody. Hey, it's about all I can handle for today. We've got other things we got to do tonight, so we're gonna call it a day. It's getting dark, it's about 5:15, and with this daylight savings time, the sun goes down a lot sooner. So we're gonna close this up for today, and we're gonna make it back here to the garden for more cleanup, hopefully tomorrow. It's forecasted for about 60% rain, so hey, if it rains, it rains. We might have to wait till Wednesday or another day until it's nice weather to be able to come back and take more stuff out of the garden. So that'll wrap up today. We'll see you tomorrow. right, everybody. Hey, that's about all I can handle for today. We've got other things we got to do tonight, so we're going to call it a day. It's getting dark. It's about 5:15, and with this daylight savings time, the sun goes down a lot sooner. So we're going to close this up for today, and we're going to make it back here to the garden for more cleanup. Hopefully tomorrow. It's forecasted for about 60% rain, so hey, if it rains, it rains. Might have to wait till Wednesday or another day until it's nice weather to be able to come back and take more stuff out of the garden. So that'll wrap up today. We'll see you tomorrow. Hey, welcome back, guys. It's definitely not the next day, but I'm back in the garden, and we talked about cleaning out the garden and getting it ready for winter, and then having a soil put on top of it for spring. In this video, though, I'm going to finish up here with talking about the garden, cleaning up some things. We talked a lot about pulling all the plants out. We talked a lot about prepping it with leaves and with some other soil for the grow boxes. And if you remember, just in the last couple of days, I did a 60-second short on free 99 garden box soil. That's right, free 99 garden box soil. Ran into a buddy who's got a buddy, and he's got a buddy. So my circle of friends is pretty huge. Anyway, this guy had some garden box soil because he actually makes and sells cedar garden boxes to people. And he sells them the soil as well. Why not? Great setup. So anyway, what happened was one of the employees got rocks in that garden box soil, and so he couldn't sell it. So he called up my friend, my buddy, and said, hey, do you want some of this soil? And so my friend called me up and said, hey, this is the situation. Do you want some of the soil too? We went to his storage unit. He's got a little area in the back of the storage unit where he builds all the cedar boxes. And I picked up 4 yards of the most premium garden box soil I've ever seen. And I've seen a lot. I've made some myself and been through a lot. So my friend got about 4 yards. I got 4 yards. He still had some left over. And I think I'm going to try and finish filling my boxes that I'm going to build, and I'll show you that in another video. I'm going to build some garden boxes, going to show you how easy it is, the soil to put in it, and how to get those ready for next year as well. So let's walk through the garden, and let's see a couple more things we need to get done before we close things down. All right, so here we go. So we got the tomatoes all cleaned out. Okay, as you can see right here, I'm going to walk down the tomato patch here, and I'm going to show you that we got both boxes. Now these boxes of tomatoes are about 20 feet long, and what's crazy is I want to build 3 or 4 more boxes for tomatoes. So I've got these boxes that are 20 feet long by 4 feet wide, and I like the width because what it does for you is it allows you to be able to reach right here and work, and then come around the other side, and then you're able to reach and work just the same. Now if it was a 5-foot box, what's happening is you're having to do a lot more reaching over to get to your plants, what you're doing in your boxes and stuff. So a 4-foot wide box is optimal. I've got my beets that I'm still gonna hang in there for just a little bit. You see those just right down there? My beets are there. I've got pretty much everything else cleaned out. I do need to do a little work on my grapes. I'll get that taken care of. I do want to pull some of the weeds and different things out. I'll put some leaves in my grape beds. As you can kind of see even right here, I've got some leaves. They'll decompose over the winter through the snow and the thaw, and the snow and the thaw, and then the rain in the spring. And I've got some other leaves that I'm going to put in there just the same. And then what I've got too is I've got a nice compost pile here that I've got a lot of leaves and grass clippings that I've put together. And then I'm going to go ahead and incorporate some of those in my boxes just the same, okay? I've got 2 compost bins, as you can see just right here. I've got one here and then just one here. So I've got those that I'm going to be working on. I'm going to also do a video on composting and the pros and cons of composting, and give you my straight up hard feelings about composting. I'm sure many of you that have tried it have decided that, hey, it's a lot of work. So we'll work on that one. There is the garden. Now let me show you one more thing over here, and then we'll finish up this video, and then we'll start working on getting the beds ready, and then I'll do a video on how I like to put leaves on the soil, and then I'll put some more garden box soil on top of the leaves, and then I'll sprinkle a little bit of 16-16-8 fertilizer to be able to help the decomposition process throughout the winter. And that's okay, but I like my garden to be active in the winter time, because underneath that snow you get a nice layer of insulation under that snow, and that helps to keep things a little bit warmer under there, and then it also allows you to be able to do the process of decomposition with your 16-16-8 and your leaves. So these boxes here I'm taking out. These two boxes right here I'm taking out, totally getting rid of those, and then I'm going to build me some more wood boxes, 4x8 wood boxes with these 2x8s. I've got them together, so that gives me about 15.5 inches of depth, and then they're going to be 4x8. I'm going to put 3 boxes right through this area right here, and then I'm also, when I tear these out, I'm going to put another 4 to 5 boxes over in this area right here. Lots to do before winter. I'm hoping to be able to get it done, but nonetheless, that ties this video up. Anyway, I'm all turned around, guys. I don't know where I'm at, right? And actually, I'm facing south, you're looking north, and I'm Mark V-Dub with Gardening Gone Wild. Hey, thanks for watching my videos. I'm really trying to ramp things up so you get more knowledge, more information coming your way about working in the garden. I'm going to do a few things with the greenhouse with tomato plants. We're going to plant some pepper seeds. We're going to plant some cucumber, squash seeds, and maybe even some peas. We might even try some lettuce. The thing I don't like about lettuce in a greenhouse is it's a magnet for aphids and whiteflies. And so you have to be very careful when you're growing things in the greenhouse, especially edibles, because if you grow it, they will come. And they are the insects that go up in your greenhouse, okay? Okay guys, hey listen, real fast, I just talked a little bit about getting some, I call it free 99 grow box soil, and it's actually underneath this ground cloth that the guy even gave me to cover it, so when I came home, it wasn't going to blow all over the place and I was going to lose a lot of it. But I'm going to whip this dude back, and I'm going to let you take a look at that garden box soil. Now, it doesn't look like much until I dig into it, and man, that stuff is just some rich, dark black, just some awesome soil that you've ever seen. It's got organic matter, it's got little wood chips, it's got some vermiculite in it, it's got pumice, it's got composted steer manure, and one thing I was really happy when I got it is that it doesn't have any horse manure. Horse manure can be deadly to your garden, guys, because the herbicides that are required to provide a premium A that you feed horses, that can stay inside of the digestive system of the horse, and when they poop, that poop hits the ground, the herbicides haven't gone anywhere, they remain in there. And then you take the herbicide infested horse poop, you spread it on your garden, and then your plants really suffer from that. So anyway, that's the free 99 4 yards of box soil, garden box soil that I got, and what a gift, what a gift. Okay, until next time, have a great day.
Where do we go from here when everything seems broken? Where do we go from here? What do we need to say to take back harsh words spoken? What do we need to say? It seems we've somehow lost our way, somewhere since yesterday. So where do we go, and what do we say? What do we have to do to survive this stormy weather? What do we have to do? Who do we have to be to always stand together? Who do we need to be? And now it feels so long ago when we laughed and dreamed together. So what do we do? And who should we be? I thought we'd always find a way to keep our dreams alive and celebrate our tapestry that's woven from each life. But now it seems we're torn apart, not knowing where to go. We've got to find our way back home and share the love we know. Where do we go from here when our whole world seems shattered? Where do we go from here? What do we have to say to change the things that matter? What do we have to say? There's just got to be a way to mend the hearts now broken. So where do we go? And what do we say? I thought we'd always find a way to keep our dreams alive and celebrate our tapestry that's woven from each life. But now it seems we've grown apart, not knowing where to go. We've got to find our way back home and share the